Hello and welcome to yet another review on cardekho.com. Now, over the past year and a half, sales of petrol-powered vehicles have seen a mighty comeback thanks to the falling prices of fuel. Buyers are consciously looking at petrol-powered vehicles even in segments like the MPV and the compact SUV. Well, why am I telling you all of this? Simply because the car at hand I have today is possibly one of the most talked about cars of 2015 in its petrol avatar. Does it live up to the hype? Let's find out. The petrol Creta's top trim level is the SX Plus, and it is hard to differentiate it from the top spec SX option diesel, at least from the outside. The Creta is possibly one of the best looking compact SUVs in the market, which does turn quite a few heads while on the move. The front gets a large grille flanked by sharp projector headlamps with daytime running lamps. The vertically stacked fog lamps complements the cladding and the Force skid plate very well, giving the Creta a proportionate face. The rear may be termed bland in comparison, housing just the large swooping tail lamps and bumpers which get some more cladding. It also gets some nice chunky wing mirrors and a set of roof rails to cement its SUV stance. Speaking of stance, this is where the petrol Creta misses out big time. It gets 16-inch wheels compared to the 17 inches on the top spec diesel, which do look tiny compared to the overall proportions of the car. Overall, the Creta does manage to impress with its neat design lines. We like how the fluidic design philosophy has evolved with times, and the Creta does pull off the traditional Hyundai family look very easily. The interior on the Creta is well appointed. While majority of the interior feels premium and well made, there are certain bits that are missing on the SX Plus trim compared to the SX option. For starters, the gear knob looks like it came straight out of a base Grand i10. You don't get a wrap on the steering wheel either. The fabric seats aren't expected in a car at this price point, and neither is the lack of a proper MID or the supervision cluster as Hyundai calls it. The overall space on the inside of the Creta, however, can be termed as generous. The front seats are supportive even for reasonably well-built people. A similar story follows at the rear as well, with legroom being adequate even for a 6-footer. However, taller folks might have a slight problem with the headroom thanks to the sloping roof. The boot space is at a healthy 402 litres, which swallows the weekend luggage for a family of 4 quite easily. How's it to drive? Well, let me start off by saying that the Creta is one of the most planted Hyundais I've driven in a long time. Even when the speeds go well past the triple digits, the Creta manages to ride relatively flat. The suspension is tuned beautifully for comfort, and it will soak up those undulations on the road without transferring a lot of it into the cabin. Coming to the heart of the matter, the Creta petrol is powered by the same 1.6 engine that powers the Verna. It generates 123 PS of power and 151 Nm of torque. Now, to be honest, the engine is slightly lazy and you have to rev it a lot to extract any sort of performance out of it. It is properly lethargic up to 1500 RPM, after which it does pull cleanly. The motor is refined and very little engine noise filters into the cabin. The clutch is light and the 6-speed manual gearbox is tuned well. The gear throws itself are nice and slick, which make constant gear changing a bit more easy. Coming to the handling, in spite of it being a relatively tall vehicle, body roll is well under control. One shouldn't really attack corners with the Creta, but the way it handles might actually surprise you. Full marks to Hyundai here. Well, Hyundai has got the formula for the perfect city compact SUV almost spot on. And I have to say almost. For starters, Hyundai should not have skimmed out on the 6 airbags from the petrol top spec Creta. Secondly, Bits like the fabric interior, lackluster MID just does not feel at home in a car from this segment. And lastly, Hyundai definitely needs a petrol automatic Creta in its portfolio. Well, that's it for today. This is Arun Shenoy signing off. Do subscribe to the Car Dekho YouTube channel and don't forget to like, comment and share the video.